and married a Hungarian woman, my wife. So that's why I consider myself also a European, and that's also meaning kind of a composite with the pros and cons as we see sometimes in our day-to-day lives. Now, 90 Labs, here you see the building of ETH Zurich. So 90 Labs is a spin-off of ETH Zurich, founded 2018 by 3 founders and funded as per last year by around 4 million Swiss francs. We are currently raising our Series A, so you should hear more news in the next few months about that. And we are currently 26 full-time engineers with mainly a background in engineering composites and also software. And the motivation why to start the company was really that we believed that nowadays we can do better at manufacturing composites. We started to look at parts which are small and intricate, so also to make composites as accessible as metals. That's mainly the goal, because we see a lot of parts still being done by milling out of composite blocks or being manually placed, where we see a lot of optimization potential when it comes to fiber volume distribution, automation, reproducibility, and so on. But we also wanted to challenge, of course, some metal parts, so standard metal, conventional, manufactured, and or also 3D printed metals in some cases. So for that, we started the software side. So I come back to the 7% from the poll. And yes, we actually started with a design software, means that after we have the load cases for certain applications, we really think about where fibers are required. And as you see here on this part, which is a helicopter door hinge, you will see that further on in the presentation. We place in green the fibers based on the load case, which is given. And where it's red, we can either leave completely empty or fill it with pure polymer. So here's the goal, of course, is to reduce cost, to be very material efficient. It has also an impact, of course, on sustainability. So afterward, what is very important with this, in general with composites, especially with innovations here, before starting to do many iterations with real physical products, we really try to validate as much as possible in this digital environment. And we have a plugin which automates this data flow towards the simulation. Simulation is then checking our designs, and depending on the output, we'll give some feedback to the design software in an automated way so that the design software can readapt the fiber placement if necessary. Once we are done with this digital loop, we send out a G-code to our so-called build module, which is a 3D printer. We also developed and make it ourselves in Zurich, Switzerland. And this is a 3D printer which has the 2 deposition feet, we call it like that. One is typically FDM based for thermoplastic neat polymer. And on the other deposition feet, we will feed in the continuous fiber, which comes from a thermoplastic tape. So our feedstock is tape. We transform it, we slit it, we form it into a round filament so that we are very precise in tight angles. And it goes into the printing phase. After the printer, we have a preform. And this preform, and this is something, I guess, which is a bit different than some of our peers in the market, we bring into a consolidation phase. This is really to have high performance serial parts. So serial parts means high quality, reproducibility, tight tolerances, and so on, which we cannot find after 3D printing. So here, the tape, like we are buying it, then we slit it and form it into a round filament. So the meaning here, why tapes? Because they are certified for a lot of markets we are entering. So it's quicker to enter the markets. They are cheap compared to continuous fiber filaments in 3D printing. And you can reach 60% fiber volume content or even more if you want. So at this point, I would like to share a video just to show you the whole process flow for this helicopter door hinge.
Rethink manufacturing. 9T Labs technology manufactures the structures that make society's most audacious goals possible. Whatever your functional requirements are, flame resistance, chemical resistance, energy absorbance, X-ray transparency, high stiffness, and strength to weight ratio. 9T Labs' additive fusion workflow offers a simple and cost-effective way to design and manufacture functional composites. Design even your most advanced part with 9T Labs Fibrify software. For the first time, true 3D fiber orientation allows you to design applications which haven't been possible to manufacture in composites before. Our unique software platform links with your commercial simulation tool of choice. This simulation allows you to validate the optimal part design and greatly speeds up your product development time. On the shop floor, our integrated cloud software acts as your manufacturing execution system. 9T Labs technology lets you produce parts that are 10 times stronger than metal at 1/3 of the price of conventional carbon composite solutions. Full process control, sensor integration, and cloud connectivity. A carefully engineered deposition system allows trajectory conformal printing under controlled temperature conditions, combining multiple parts to reach unseen design latitudes in fiber composite processing. 9T Labs hardware and cloud connectivity highlights our philosophy of full process and data control. Fuse parts by applying pressure and heat to get superior surface finish, get maximum adhesion and low porosity, unleashing applications and performance never seen before in composites processing. Join our revolution. Take 3D printing to the next level with 9T Labs Red Series.
So, and last but not least, I mean, beside, of course, transforming or innovating in the technical field, we also see that the big entry barrier is financial when testing some new technologies. So we heavily rely on this subscription-based model so that our machines, our whole solution is accessible through a subscription and not only a sales model. So that's what is often called in the literature the forever transaction, which means we're more solution or service oriented so that customers can focus on their core and produce with our solution